Well, to recap what happened last night, at little after 8 p.m., we responded to the 400 block of Parkway Drive in reference to multiple shots being fired. Once we arrived on scene, we did in fact locate a crime scene that was pretty expansive. We found multiple shell casings on scene, and there were multiple people that had been injured as a result of the gunfire. All the injuries at this time appear to be non-life-threatening. Since that time, we are actively working the investigation. We've had officers go back out to the area and detectives to canvass. Right now, we're trying to establish a clear motive as to exactly what happened. We are really not sure at this time. We have received some information that it may have been in retaliation for some other shootings. That is a possibility, but we're in the process of verifying and vetting that information. That's going to take some time to actually determine and establish an exact motive, but we have multiple detectives currently working this and actively working it.
Do you have a sense? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you have a sense yet if people were shooting back from the playground, or was this in fact 3 or 4 men with guns shooting towards the playground?
Preliminary information that we got was the initial shooting started with several individuals firing at the basketball court. And then it would appear that there may have been return fire based on evidence that we found at the location, meaning additional shell casings, which would indicate that there may have been a two-way shooting.
And this was 8 o'clock. It would stand to reason that it's not dark yet. It's okay to expect that there would be a 9-year-old on a playground in her neighborhood. What does this say about the type of people you are dealing with and looking for when we can point at a playground with children?
Well, we're certainly very concerned about the behavior of these violent individuals. It is shocking that they would commit this type of crime and put innocent people in danger to this degree, so we're very concerned about it. We're putting a lot of resources into this investigation and others that have similar characteristics to try to determine who actually are committing these shootings, if they're connected, and why.
Do you know, was there any conflict before, in the minutes before, hours before, at the playground, or did this just seem to come out of nowhere?
It just this particular incident seemed to just come out of nowhere. We don't have any intelligence at this point that it would indicate a perhaps brewing up to the shooting. We don't have information to indicate that at this time, but the investigation is ongoing. It's in the beginning stages, and that may change as our investigation moves forward.
Have several people said we think this is connected to Club Crucial?
We have received that information, and we are considering that as well as many other possibilities. So that is something that we are looking at very strongly.
Do you know if detectives have had a chance to look at that APD camera that is posted in front of Club Crucial to get a better sense of who those people were?
We, on that investigation as well, we have many investigators working that case right now actively, and part of that investigation will be going through that video as well as other video surveillance in the area.
Aside from the surveillance that your investigation continues, other than any other things directly leading up to this, what about that area, the surrounding periphery outside of the club itself? Is there a thread, or how has things been going there?
Well, you know, we have had some problems in that proximity, and the Zone 1 is heavily patrolling that area, as long as other discretionary units, so we're always very cognitive of crime patterns and crime trends, so we are constantly being active in that proximity.
You know, lately, it seems every time I wake up, a child shot or killed, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 1-year-old. You've been in law enforcement a while. I mean, to speak to that, that's not true.
Well, the major concern that we have are these shootings that appear to be somewhat random, where individuals are just firing multiple rounds indiscriminately into crowds, and that's causing an uptick in innocent victims being injured as a result of these violent acts. So it is a very significant concern to us, and we're putting all resources into trying to determine, again, if these things are linked, and if they are, why are they occurring, and we're doing everything we can to stop them.
All right, he's going to give a brief update also on the Delmar Lane shooting from last night.
Delmar Lane, that was not a shooting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so last night officers responded to Delmar Lane in regards to a call indicating that there were several people in a parking lot that appeared to be armed. Officers did respond to the location. We did in fact locate several individuals that fled as police rolled up on the scene. Subsequent to that, we actually executed a search warrant at one of the buildings within that apartment complex, and during the process of that we were able to recover several handguns, to include one AR-15 rifle and 5 additional handguns. Approximately 8 to 10 individuals have been detained, and our investigation has furthered with several of those individuals being arrested and charged with the weapons charges and various other charges that are related to the evidence that was secured during the search warrant, which included a large amounts of alcohol and a small amount of marijuana.
Is the candy shop, or that was something different? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
On these weapons, are you able to gather yet whether there's been so many break-ins and thefts of
Yes.
weapons?
At this point, we believe that one of the rifles is connected to or being reported stolen out of Doraville, and we have members from our ATF task force actively working this case and attempting to find out the origin of these handguns. But preliminary investigation has indicated that at least one of those weapons has been stolen.